everyone. Welcome to our virtual back to school night. I know it looks a little differently this year, but it's the name of the game and we're going to make it work. So, thank you for such a great few first days of school. I've enjoyed getting to know your children, and I can already tell I have such an awesome class, so I'm very blessed. The page that you're looking at right now is our classroom website. And this is specifically for you parents. This is where you're going to see any information I post, newsletters, um, wow work from students, all that good stuff, just to keep you in the loop for our distance learning. So if you look here and kind of scroll down, we have our buttons, and these are links that will take you to different places around the classroom website, or like these two buttons say, take you to our Banyan website and then our parent portal. So I thought it would be nice to have those there as a quick kind of access for you guys to use. So if you were to scroll down, you can see the different ones. I have a little kind of welcome back letter. I won't bore you by reading it all the way through, but it's just kind of to welcome you back. And then, as you already saw, our third grade team video, which we really enjoyed making. So I was glad some of you really enjoyed it as well. So before we kind of dive into the nitty gritty, I'll tell you a little bit about me. So I'll go to the About the Teacher page. So this is my second year teaching at Banyan. I graduated from Cal State Fullerton, and I previously have been a reading intervention teacher in the Fountain Valley School District. I recently moved from Huntington Beach to Diamond Bar, and it has made my commute so amazing. So that's been a great change this year. I enjoy yoga and taking care of my many plants. I've definitely become a plant lady during this whole thing, and I love it. My apartment is just filled with them. So yeah, and just like my students, I am returning to get my master's in educational technology and instruction at Cal State Fullerton. So just like they say, once a Titan, always a Titan. And I'm excited to utilize what we learn in those classes in my classroom. So just some pictures of me with my third grade team. They're awesome, and I love working with them so much. They're the best. Me and my boyfriend Hunter were at Disneyland. I miss Disneyland, but we'll be back soon, hopefully. My dog Elsie, and then a picture of me with my parents. We were in the Rose Garden in Portland, Oregon. So those are just some of the people that are important and special to me. And let's get into the good stuff. So as I'm just basically going to scroll down our side tab to the different pages. So if we go to back to school, basically going to have all the good information that I would have given at back to school night in person. So we have a little digital flip book, some Common Core standards, and it's kind of like a cheat sheet. It really just breaks them down for you if you're curious. Information about our school meal program, and then more electronic use information and the Google agreement. This was also posted on all of their Google Classrooms as well. So we're going to get into our flip book. And what's nice is it's just slides. So if you're at home and you want to present this bigger to look through it, you'll click this one. You're going to say full screen, and we are going to go through. What's really awesome is these are clickable. So if I wanted to just click to go to the schedule, it'll take me to the schedule slide. So let's get into kind of how our days are going to look with distance learning. So Monday is very different from Tuesday through Friday. There's different times for their breaks. So I'm going to kind of go in depth. It might feel a little redundant, but I just want to make sure that we know the times that the students will be logging in for our Google Meets. So on Monday, students will be in PE from 8:30 to 9. And then at 9 o'clock, they will log in for the beginning of the day. And just like we have been doing, I always will start my students in homeroom, the homeroom Google Classroom, so we can do our morning meeting. And then we'll go into math once we finish that. So our math block is 9 to 10:20 on Mondays. It's 80 minutes. And then the students will go to a break from 10:20 to 10:35. Then when we get back, they'll have ELA from 10:30 to 11:45. Their lunch is 11:45 to 12:30. And then we end the day with either social studies, science, or some social emotional learning component, and that will go until 1:30. So that is our new modified minimum day. And so we just need to notice there is a difference in time for our break, recess, and then our lunch. So that was what Monday will look like. Then for Tuesday through Friday, those days are all the same. So we will start the day with math. That's at 9. But I do want to just remind you guys, our teacher office hours are 8:30 to 9 in the morning before class starts, and then after class ends from 2:05 to 3. So those are also on the schedule as well. So we will start the day at 9. And again, it's in our math block, so it goes till 10:20. They will go to recess from 10:20 to 10:40. We'll finish up the last 20 minutes of our math block until 11 when we get back from recess. ELA is 11 to 12:20. And then they will go off to lunch at 12:20 to 1. And then we will end the day, it'll be 1:05 to 2:05, which is our social studies, science, and social emotional learning. And then again, teacher office hours will be after that. So that's kind of the breakdown of our schedule. I know some had questions about, are we going to be sitting in front of the computer screen the whole time? And that is a kind of a yes and no. I'm not going to be having them sitting looking at, a screen the whole time. We are going to kind of break it up. So I'll usually start the lesson with the whole group once we get into our more structured days, because the first week of school, it's a lot of icebreakers, getting to know each other, getting familiar with how we're going to navigate online. So it's going to look a little different. But once we start, normally we'll have, our whole group lesson, and then we will either break off to do an independent activity, and I will still be online. But if they would like to work independently, on their own, that's totally fine. They just will have to come back once our timer comes up. And so that's what I've been teaching them this week, is how to set a timer, making sure to be mindful of when they need to come to Google Meets once they've left them. So I'll also do, whole group and then break it up into small group sessions. So I might have a group of students online with me for a Google Meet, while the rest of the students are working on an activity or on a website independently. And then they'll switch in and come in for theirs. So it's going to be basically whole group and then small group throughout these big chunks. I definitely will be giving a lot of brain breaks. It's a lot to be sitting in front of a computer. And even in my classroom, I would not be having them sit for the whole 80-minute chunk of math. It's just not feasible. So I definitely will be doing Go Noodles, Mind Yeti, fun little game activities to break it up. And also just maybe give a 5-minute break and let them, have some time to recharge and come back to the computer screen. So hopefully that kind of explains our schedule a little better. And I'm looking forward to it. I think we're going to have a lot of fun this year, and it's going to be fun to learn more tech. So that will be a good thing. So now we can go down to our expectations. So this isn't only like how I expect them to be, but just how our Google Meets should go. And as you might have seen in your parent packet, there was a sheet with Google Meet expectations in there. And so far it's been awesome. The students have been following them amazingly. And so that definitely is great. So thank you for going over those with them prior, because I could definitely tell that they were prepared. So for our expectations, assignments need to be completed in a timely manner. So the due dates for all assignments will be on Google Classroom, and it will tell them when it's due. Be respectful, be kind, and be safe. That's very important, even digitally. I have been talking to them about how Even though we're not in class, we are going to treat this like a classroom, so that's very important. Sitting in a quiet spot in your house with limited distractions and background noises. I know for some, things are going to come up, and I totally understand. So as long as they're in at least a space where they can work, maybe wear headphones if needed, that's awesome. But I do know that there's going to be different situations, so I completely understand that. Just want to be mindful that they are hopefully in a spot where they can focus. Um, they need to keep themselves on mute until it is their turn to speak or called on. So that's something that we are working on. I know they've been getting excited and they want to unmute and hop on. And so again, it's just practice, just like it would be in the classroom, raising our hands instead of shouting out. So being on time to our Google Meets, that's very important, especially with attendance. So we are taking attendance via the Google Meet. So once they log in, it tells us that they're there, and then we send that to the office. And that is for every Google Meet that we log into. So our math will have attendance, our English language arts, and our science and social studies component. And that is all information that we save. So it is very important for them to be at the meets, to get the daily instruction, and also to have fun and see their peers, and have it kind of be like a school day. So make sure siblings and pets know not to interrupt you during this time. And that was really awesome. I've seen everyone has had a really good space, and we're not distracted by siblings or pets, so I love that. Make sure you are dressed appropriately. So we are in school even if it's virtual. So again, I dress in my teacher clothes. They have to be dressed in clothes that they would wear to school. They need to be respectful and use school appropriate language. Be ready with the needed materials. Make sure to stay in one spot and sit still during our meeting. And then last but not least, we are a class family and we treat each other with respect and kindness. And this is something that's very important to me, is creating a class environment where my students feel welcome and safe. And I want them to be able to share. So that is something that I will be working on from day one. And I can already tell it's a great group of kids. So I think we're going to have a good time. Enrichment. So as a grade level, third grade has decided not to assign nightly homework, although we will have enrichment activities. So these are recommended things that would help your child during the distance learning. So we recommend that they at least read for 30 minutes a night, whether independently or with a parent guardian. And then other enrichment activities would be practicing typing and then their math facts. And so we use Extra Math for our math facts. And then we also have a typing website that they will be able to use once we open up Clever for them. And then again, these are recommended but not mandatory. They're just things that we think would benefit them to be successful this year. And then again, it's classwork for the day. So anything that we work on together during our Google Meets, if they do not complete it during the allotted time, then they will need to finish their assignments by the end of the day and turn them in to receive full credit. Some of the activities have a later due date. You just need to, it'll say on Google Classroom, and I will also relay that to your child when the due date is, if it's due that day or if they have a couple days to complete it. So that's also very important to remember. So if they have not completed it during the allotted school time, then they will need to finish their assignment by the end of the day. Then we have our grading policy. So we use standard-based grading. And again, it's instead of a letter grade, we use our grading scale. And this kind of outlines it. So again, standard-based grading, there's many grades per subject. Grades are based on mastery of a single learning target, clear learning goals, and precise feedback, which is why we use this. Assignments, quizzes, and tests will be graded during distance learning. It is important for students to complete their assignments for the day or week. Participation will also be a grade, which it is expected they need to attend all of their scheduled Google Meets. So for them to receive participation, they need to be on our meets. And so that is a grade that's going to be in the grade book. We have our grading scale. So 4, that means they exceed the standard. 3 means they meet the standard. 2 is approaching the standard. And 1 is below. So we also have summative and formative assessments, and it kind of goes into detail there. But yeah, it's very important. So for distance learning, their assignments, quizzes, and tests are graded, and so is participation. So they need to, as best to their ability, because I know things do come up, be on the Google Meet. And then just an overview of some topics. I won't read through all of them, but in math, we have operations and algebraic thinking. Multiplication is super big in third grade. It's kind of the first grade level where they really teach it, and we practice our math facts. We have literature and informational text. So, point of view, text structure, story elements, opinions versus evidence, main idea. For social studies, we have geographical features, Native Americans, community, and then science, traits and life cycles, forces and interactions, weather and climate. So we got a lot of fun stuff that we're going to cover this year. So I'm really excited. And for this presentation, that is pretty much the outline of it for the back to school. And again, like I said, you can scroll down. I will be always adding more documents if needed to this page, and I will update you on that as well. Again, so if we go down, we have our schedule page, which was in the slideshow I just showed, but I wanted to make sure there was a quick, easy access link so you can check it if you ever needed to. I also have our classroom expectations page, just so we know what is going to be expected. So just some that I have written: we believe in ourselves, we include everyone, we work together, we use our time wisely, we come to Google Meet prepared, we treat everyone with respect. So these are some important things that they'll need to follow when we are on our Google Meet. And then, like the paper that was handed out to you, like an actual paper copy, here's a digital one of our Google Meet expectations. So again, I kind of went over these in the previous slide, but here are our do's and then our don'ts. And some of these are, important. Don't walk around with your device. Don't interrupt your classmate or teacher when they're talking, and then don't eat or drink during our Google Meet. So those are some important ones as well. Now I'm going to scroll down here to the online learning tab. And so this will focus on how we are going to be using Google Classroom. So I've attached below a screenshot of one of our Google Classroom home pages. And so across the top, you'll see Stream and Classwork. This will be the same for every Google Classroom your child is in. And everything they will need will be under the Classwork tab. Students will be invited to the following Google Classrooms. So there's going to be homeroom, math, ELA, so English Language Arts, and Science Social Studies. Their assignments will be categorized under each classroom for that subject. And then we will be having Google Meets in the different subject matter classrooms. So example, when it is math time, we will meet in the Google Math classroom. So we've been starting this week utilizing homeroom, and as we progress, I will add them to the other Google Classrooms. I just didn't want to overwhelm them all at once, and I just wanted to start slow this week to build up their confidence and have them know how to navigate Google Classroom in general. So again, pictured above is what their homeroom page will look like, and then we will start class here every day at 9 a.m. And then below I have 2 other quick links to our schedule and then our class calendar, and I will go to the calendar page soon. Especially with online learning, we will be utilizing different websites as well, which they will access through Clever, and we are going to be introducing those slowly throughout the week. For example, some of them will be Spelling City, Freckle, Extra Math, Prodigy, so different ones like that that we will be utilizing during online learning as well. We have a Wow Work page, and right now it's blank because we just started school, and I'm waiting to get some of that wow work in. So this is where I will post some awesome student work under their student number. So their name will not be on it. You will know what their number is, and you'll be able to see your child's awesome work there. Now we have the student spotlight, and this will be for how we will utilize, recognizing our Bulldog of the Week. As a school, we're still deciding on how we're going to do that, so I'm excited to implement this soon because I would like to recognize students in the same way that we have before, or as similar to as possible. The next page that you'll see is my contact me information. So again, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm here to help and assist in any way possible. I have my office hours information, which again is Tuesday through Friday, 8:30 to 9 a.m. and 2:05 to 3 p.m. And you can do this through Google Meet or email, whichever you prefer. And then you can use the code OfficeHoursG104 when you go to GoogleMeet.com or meet.google.com. There we go. And then I have my email, which is mstammen@ALSD as well. And then the phone number if you would prefer to call me. And then last but not least, we have the calendar. And so this will be really awesome because, as you can already see, it shows assignments and they are on their due date day. So this one, so they will be there for all the Google Classrooms. The assignments will show. And that will be a quick, easy access for you to see. They'll be different colors, and you can click and check the assignments. I know this was a lot of information, and I know watching it as a video is a little different, but thank you so much for watching. And again, I hope I answered some of your questions. And if you thought of any more, please feel free to email me or hop on during a Google Meet, and I'll try to help you as best as I can. I'm looking forward to a wonderful year and getting to know your students, and it's going to be fun. Like I said, it'll be different, but we'll work through it. It'll be great and definitely very memorable. So thank you again. I look forward to seeing you soon, and have a wonderful rest of your day.